Okay, so this is a video about how to fix agricultural problems that we're having. Right now, we have major fertilizer instability, where because of actions of idiots, we've led ourselves to not have these fertilizers, which are produced in Ukraine and Russia, and so we don't want to give them any money for Russian fertilizers, and it's hard to get stuff from Ukraine right now because of the war. So right now we've let ourselves into a big problem, and the whole system, the entire agricultural system, is a sham. It's a whole big disaster right now. Okay, so one of the biggest problems is we have crops that they grow. We have subsidized crops from the government, and our government basically gives farmers more money for these subsidized crops. They're basically monocrops. Now, when you start to grow these monocrops, you're going to need fertilizers. You're going to need all this stuff because monocropping is not natural. That's not something. That's not how the earth is designed to work. It's not how any of this place is designed. So they have to go in every year, or every time they do one of these crops, they have to till up the land. That releases tons of carbon. And you notice after a while of them using pesticides and fertilizers, their entire shit turns to dust. They basically turns to sand. All their soil just basically turns into sand because there's no ability to grow inside of that dead ground that you've destroyed. You've destroyed all the living compounds. And they say, well, you need to use pesticides so you can increase your yields, otherwise the pests will eat it all. Well, the thing is, and you need to have fertilizers to increase your yields as well. Well, if you do things naturally, we don't till up the ground. We start to, instead of growing crops that we have to seed every single year, we do perennials, and we have entire ecosystems where you have cows, you have chickens, you have everything all on one farm, and you have all of it working together. So you have the manure from the cows building up the textures and the levels. The important part is doing levels with your soil. And another thing that people don't know about is biochar. Biochar is super important. It is what can it's basically like a coral reef for your soil. So think about your soil and think about the coral reef and what it does. It holds life inside that coral reef, which keeps the oceans vibrant and alive. Without the coral reef, the whole thing dies. The ocean starts to die. And that's what's happening. And so with biochar allows you to it allows microbiological life to get inside of it. It's like activated charcoal that's been burned in an oxygen-free environment. So it's been like sealed in a can, and then you make a fire underneath of that, or solar heat, whatever type of heating source you want to use. And ultimately, none of that would really matter right now about producing the carbon. The carbon isn't the problem right now. And if we produce a bunch of carbon in the atmosphere, guess what? We die, and the plants thrive off of it. So we are the biological counterpart to the plants. Okay, so it's very important that we just do what is best for the biological importance of all the life on the planet. And basically the entire system, the entire ecological system is relying on us to do this. And so think about when you do a layer. So we're going to take the biochar, you stick it on top of your layers with your manure, it gets activated. Biochar needs to be activated by organic material decomposing inside of it, because if it doesn't get activated, then it's not going to, it's by itself, it's not going to work. But you do that, and then you have layers and layers, and the mycelium from the fungus will also help spread all throughout the soils. And if you don't till up the land, then that mycelium can build, and it could spread the nutrients as it needs to all the different plants. And you plant, you don't just plant a singular crop, and you do stuff that comes back every year. Okay, and then right now we have an entire system where, think about every single person in this country, every single house out there that's in this country, every yard is full of just grass, nothing but grass, and we have no cows eating that grass. There's no animals eating that at all. That doesn't serve any purpose. So that is wasted agricultural space. And we could have blueberry bushes planted on there, added with pine needles to increase the acidity so they produce their proper amount of fruit. And you can have all sorts of other things growing that come back every single year, and you don't even need to have, reseeding every year. You don't need to reseed. If we can get stuff that actually grows without needing to be reseeded, then you make a big, huge difference in the world. And so, with that right there, you're able to take all this wasted land and turn it into potentially used land. And the problem is, it all comes down to money. They want to be able to make money, but ultimately in the future, almost all intelligent species that exist within this reality ultimately want to do what is best for all existence, because all existence is the singularity. We are all God. God is all encompassing. It's male, female, it is bird, chicken, duck, dirt. It is everything. It is every single potential existence, everything. It is all the singularity, okay? And so we got to do what is best for all existence. And so following the path of least resistance is very important while we're here. And this is the path of least resistance. And this is the best way to make it to where we can have enough food to sustain the people on the planet. And it's just common sense, honestly, because we really need to have this, and it's just getting worse every single day that we just ignore it and pretend like there's nothing happening, and we talk about how we need to have these fertilizers in the media. Like, without these fertilizers, we're going to be screwed. No, you just don't understand how to actually make it work naturally, the way that God intended it to work. We're not designed to do these monocrops just to make profit. We are designed to be able to have food in a diverse ecosystem. All of it has to come up in a diverse ecosystem. Without that diversity, you need all of these things that they're talking about. Fertilizers, you need pesticides, you need all of it. But with biochar, you can increase your yield, your crop yield, by 50% or more. And if people started, instead of flushing all their shit down the toilet, and if you shit and you don't take any pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals can leach into your soil because they don't break down. And if you know that you take a dump and you don't take any pharmaceuticals or anything like that, you have perfect manure. Your manure is fine, and you can turn that into soil, and instead of just flushing it down the toilet, where they take it and take all that processing and turn it into soil, which was someone pointed out to me earlier, which makes sense. There's heavy metals all inside it because the pipes are lined with metals. And little do you know, most cow manure is not, or most manure is not cow manure. They won't say that it's cow manure. If it says manure on it, it's more than likely human shit. Okay, that's just a fact. And so ultimately, you can have an entire diverse system that works, and we make enough food for everyone. And we teach people farming in schools, basic farming, how to do stuff that's going to come back every year. You make plants that come back every year, and you're going to have crop yields off of them annually. And so without needing to reseed. And so you just come back and it's there. You got blueberries in the bush. You come back every year and there's blueberries there without needing to do anything. And that's free food for the people. And that cuts back the amount of agricultural land that we need. So with all these different little billet points all stacked together, we can produce the amount of products and food that we need for everyone. But it starts with a fundamental reevaluation of the entire system and the way in which we do things. And that can be hard for people to do and hard for people to fully grasp. But anyways, if you're new to this channel, you should definitely subscribe, because I'm going to call it done here. And because just by miracle you've stumbled upon this channel, I have tons of important information about top secret military stuff, and all metals isolating magnet, anti-gravity, capacitor, which runs off lightning and has mercury, and, well, basically the all metals isolating magnet, same toroid stuff. But yeah, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope that you tell me something in the comment section, because I'm very interested to know. And I hope you all have a glorious, magnificent, wonderful, beautiful, awesome, amazing, incredible day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Love you all. Bye.